Hey guys, I'm back, and this time I'm bringing you a review of Allied, starring Brad Pitt and what's her name again? Marin Cotard, and it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it's based off of the true story of Max Vanton and Mary Marlian Bizergio. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. As you probably know, I'm terrible with pronunciations, as always. But this is a story where this guy, Max, I'm just going to say the actor, Brad Pitt's character, he's serving the military. He serves his country, and he meets this one girl, and who's also a spy like him. She also serves her country, and they fall in love together. And one day, about a year or so later, after they meet, they're married, and now they have a baby that's about a year old, I think. And also Brad Pitt's character's wife is accused of being a German spy. That's it. And now he's doubts them that this is insane. I don't believe this. My wife would never be a German spy. I know her. And if he, and I quote, in 72 hours we will know for sure. And so he just has to keep an eye on her, and until they know if she's a German spy or not. That's pretty much this movie. So what did I like about this movie? Well, first off, I really like the performances. They really worked in this movie. And I liked what else did I like? Oh yeah, I liked some of the cinematography. You have some really beautiful shots in this movie that I really liked, and some of the comedic moments also really worked in this movie. But unfortunately, that's all I really liked in this movie. No, as for the things that I didn't like, the chemistry between our two main characters, I didn't buy it at all, unfortunately. And the biggest problem with that is actually, I take that back. The entire movie rests on the chemistry working, and I didn't think it worked, unfortunately. And another thing I didn't like, what was it? Oh yeah, the pacing isn't very well balanced. It goes from kind of interesting, you want this to be good, and it goes back to very slow pacing, just watching things happen, and you don't really care what's happening in these scenarios. And unfortunately, yeah, in those kinds of scenarios, it's Brad Pitt's character trying to figure out if his wife is a German spy. Just watching things happen. It's not that interesting, unfortunately. And that's another problem is the story itself isn't very interesting. And keep in mind, I am interested in U.S. history. Yeah, I find it interesting. Well, when I took U.S. history in high school, it was taught in a way that was interesting to me, but unfortunately, it's not very compelling here. And my last big issue with this movie is that some of the shots you have in this movie, I did praise the cinematography, but it also has an issue, and that is some of the shots are focus on one shot for too long. And I feel like if you cut it off at a certain point, like 2 seconds, this movie would have been a well-paced movie, and unfortunately, it just doesn't know when it's supposed to cut. And don't get me wrong, it looks very well. It looks beautiful. That's what I was looking for. But unfortunately, it does pull me back to Dragon Ball Z. And if you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, I won't spoil anything, but It's a great series, but the biggest criticism is it moves at a snail's pace, and that's the exact same case for here. It moves at a snail's pace, and I cannot get over that. And the slow pacing in Dragon Ball Z didn't bother me for about at least 80% of it. That's really pushing it. But let's say 80% of Dragon Ball Z, the slow pacing did not bother me at all. But they just focus on so many shots for so long that it starts to bother me. And this movie really felt like 3 hours long, and it's just slightly over 2. And I came out walking with a headache. That's not a good sign. And final thoughts. It does have it does have its moments throughout the film, but if you really want to see it, you really love history, then go ahead, see it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just not a movie you need to go out and see, unfortunately. So I'm going to give Allied a C. So there's my review for Allied. Don't worry, guys. I will have reviews for Incarnate and Moonlight. Yeah, Moonlight. And I'm thinking about doing a special video soon. So definitely look out for that. And here's going to be my new outro. If you also have different thoughts, leave them down below. And I'll see you in the next video from Foley Nation. There's my outro. I'm going to start using that. I'm not changing it. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you when I get back.